Very good morning to all the viewers and subscribers. So we've just turned a corner this morning and we've got the majority of the Mbiri Pride on the road in front of us. I'm just trying to follow up. I've just let all of them walk past my vehicle. And now we're going to see if we can follow them. They look like they're quite interested to hunt. They're going in and out of the block here, onto the road, off the road. But there's some stunning light on them. And the young open males with them, Lambile's with them. There's a few females, some of the youngsters. So this should be a good morning. So after having all of the Mbiris in that nice light, we did lose them for a bit. They were in a really thick block. Mike and Alistair followed up. I left to go and search a different area. I've now come back and looks like they're all here. Some lying on the road, some are in the thick bush. But really good to see the Mbiri Pride again. We were starting to worry because the dynamics have changed quite a bit in the Mbiri Pride. In the last episode you would have seen how Sheila was slowly starting to get back in there with Mandevu, which is a really good sign for the protection of the Mbiri Pride with the Tsonswalo males. But now something we've also noticed is that the Pride has been splitting off and going into its own little groups recently. So the other day we had 3 lions together, then we had 4, then we had, of course, it was Sheila, Mandevu, the Mbiri Lioness, and then the young cub that were together. So and then Lambile will be off on his own. So it's really fascinating to see how they've been splitting off. I don't know why they're doing it. At one point I thought maybe that they were starting to form a breakaway pride because we'd seen 2 lionesses from the Mbiri Pride away from the rest of the pride that were all together, and they were hunting in their own block. So there's a lot of mystery around it. We really don't have the answers at this stage, but all we can do is observe what happens over the course of the next few months, and hopefully we'll get a clearer answer. So now I've managed to do a proper head count. So with Lambile there's 8 lions here from the Mbiri Pride. So we've got Lambile, we've got 3 adult lionesses, we've got the 2 open sub-adults, and then we've got 2 of the youngsters, a young male and a young female. So this gives a better idea of who's missing. So we're obviously missing 3 lionesses, the 2 Tsonswalo males and the 1 young male cub. It's nothing to be feared because I saw a lioness yesterday or a few days ago with the young male cub with Sheila and Mandevu, so that accounts for 4. So now I'm not too sure where the 2 lionesses have gone. It could have been the 2 that I'd seen split and alone away from the Mbiri Pride a few weeks ago, but like I said, I'm really hoping that they all meet up and we get a good full Mbiri Pride welcoming. So what a privilege this morning. It's a very misty, overcast morning, and we came down to Main Dam, and I never thought I'd see this type of bird at Main Dam. Main Dam is normally known for quite a lot of its good bird viewing, but this morning we've got a secretary bird. And I think this is probably the best sighting I've ever had of a secretary bird. I've been following him now as much as I can. He has been flying and he's been on a mission, he or she, I'm not sure if it's a male or female. And he's been absolutely attacked by the plovers here around Main Dam that are obviously fearing for their chicks. But there he's walking off into the distance now. We went all the way down south past Pod Mahogany, checked S8 and S10 Dam, and now we've eventually ended up at Picnic Dam once again, following the Mbali male, which is really great to see him again because he's been on the virtual safari in the last few episodes quite regularly, and after we had him he went off into the Sabi Sands on a bit of a, if you want to call it, a warpath. He was after the four Nkahuma boys, the Mohawk Avoca male, and I think one of the Talamati young males as well. So now we've got him here with a lioness that he's busy courting and mating with. So just something else that is worth chatting about since we're here with the Mbali male and this Unknown Lioness. There's been a lot of comments recently on the virtual safari about it being the Talamati breakaway pride, not the Talamati pride that we've been seeing. So there is a bit of confusion that has been around the pride over the last, I think, 18 months since the pride had split apart. I stand to be corrected. But basically what we've done is we've looked at the two lionesses, or it was three, now two, have broken away, yes, from the rest of the pride, but have gone with a dominant male and have produced cubs. So because they're the older lionesses, they are still part of, or what you would consider, the natal pride. And the S8 Mbali male came in and he displaced the, I think it was the dark mane Avoca, away from the Talamati pride. And the youngsters from the Talamati pride at the time, young females and young males, went and split off with the dark mane Avoca and followed him around, and then until he passed. Now it seems as though Mohawk has come in and maybe taken a bit of control over them, but they are at the moment nomadic with the two young males. I'm not 100% sure how big the Talamati breakaway pride is, so that's why there is quite a lot of confusion. But the Talamati pride would be the two lionesses and the 6 cubs now, along with the S8 Mbali male. And then the breakaway pride would be the younger females and the 2 young males that are in that pride. Because they are the youngsters and not the dominant females that were part of the original pride, they would be considered the breakaway pride. But let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are, and if you see it differently and you disagree. It's good to have a chat and try and understand the different views people have. And we've got this beautiful Nile crocodile basking on the banks here. And I think he's going to go into the water soon as it gets darker, but we managed to catch him just at the right time. So the crocodile's now gone off into the water, and you can just hear that those baboons on the other side are not impressed. Any predator, and their eyes are so sharp. So while we sat watching the crocodile, we've also been watching this troop of baboons on the other side of Wild Dog Dam, and they always provide some entertainment. So sometimes when the busy things aren't so busy, like your lions and your wild dogs and your leopards and all the main stars of the virtual safari, you have to sort of take a step back and just enjoy all the simple things. And that's what we've done this afternoon. So how is this for luck? We've just turned a corner and we found a young female leopard in the road. Wow. I'm actually speechless. This is just shows you how you can never ever write off an afternoon in the bush. Okay, this female leopard is on the move. She's hunting, and an impala has just run past her, but she's very, very keen. Yeah, go ahead, Floyd. So this young female leopard has literally just come out of nowhere. We've had signs of her around the lodge for the last few days, but we just haven't been able to find her and get a shot of who she is. Now at least we've got a few pictures and videos of her. We're going to try and ID her and see who this is. It could be a new leopard on the virtual safari. Hopefully she hangs around. If you can hear that bird calling off to the right of me, you would have seen in the picture now is a yellow-throated longclaw. Beautiful bird, and I had to stop and film its stunning sound it makes this early in the morning. It's now started to drizzle and we're quite far from camp. So now it's decision time. Do we make a dash back for camp, or do we carry on south and maybe avoid the rain? It's very strange. This is probably our last bit of rain before we head into proper winter where there'll be no rain. But for now, like I said, it's decision time. I'm not sure where I'm going to go, but I think this is probably going to conclude the virtual safari. It was a busy one, and then it was a quiet one, and then it was a very exciting one with that little leopard surprise last night. So I hope you all enjoyed that, and we'll see you on the next one.